Hello everyone, it's me, Chris Rag. Oh yeah, you probably don't know me since it's my first video, at least in English, cause I'm actually French. And I already made vids on the channel with a whopping 14 subscribers. Amazing! Anyways, I'm Chris Rag, I'm creating this channel to make content in English, and for now I'll try to make a video once a week. I will mostly play Minecraft, Pokemon and Ark, but from time to time I'll play other games as well. Oh, and after that video I will probably take some time before making another one since I kinda let my friend channel die and want to relaunch it. Anyways, back to the subject of this video. Today, I'm going to attempt the 100 days challenge on Valguero. During 100 days we will fight, tame and raise creatures to try and beat the boss fight of the map Valguero, which contains 3 bosses, the dragon, the manticore and the megapithecus. Will I be able to beat this challenge? It's yours to discover. Welcome to Valguero. And I got the wrong spawn location, so I killed myself and leveled up. Yay! So, after choosing the right spawn, I got some stone, fiber, thatch and wood. With that I made a pickaxe to get flint for an axe and some spears to kill some dodos and collect the meat and hide. I then made a campfire to cook the meat, tamed the Lystriosaurus and made some bolas to immobilize a parasaur and knocked him out with my slingshot. Then I gave him some major berries and unstamed I named him Gary. After this I made a foundation to place a mortar and make some narcotics for XP and taming. I realized I hadn't named my Lystro, so hell to you, Joe. On day 2 I made a bow, a forge, some trench arrows and a full hide armor. With those new arrows I knocked out a pteranodon and started to tame him. I also did the same with a raptor and a trike. I then made some standing torches for future breeding and went to explore the map as it's my first time on Valguero. That's when I saw a pteranodon level 145 stuck in a rock, so I knocked him out, broke the rock and started to tame him. While exploring some more, I stumbled upon some microraptors, those little devils that stun you out of your mount and kill you, like they did to me. When I got back, my raptor died, but I was able to retrieve my stuff because the microraptors were fighting with Pashes. After getting my stuff, a nearby Rex aggroed onto me, so I had to run for my life. Thankfully, I was faster than him, so I was able to quickly lose the aggro and stay alive. On day 3 I found an unicorn, but as it was the first time I tried to tame one, I didn't really know how to do it, so I stopped and went back to my now tamed pteranodon and walked him back home. While farming, Joe, the first tame of the adventure, died to an Ichthyonis, so I hurried back home, where Pegomastax chose me as his master while his brother was getting killed, and ended up the Ichthyonis' life. Then, while fighting a Carno that was too close to the base, Gary, the second tame of the adventure, died to the Carno's teeth and horns, taking him to his grave. After this tragic third day, I started day 4 by finishing the little house I was farming for, and I named my high-level pteranodon Burb, my trike Trikey, my Dilo Jean, my first pteranodon PT and my Pigo Max. I then went to farm some iron and some crystal, where Burb got me on his lap for a little rest, I guess. Back home I started to smell the iron I collected when a raptor going on a rampage enraged a nearby Branto and got Trikey, me and Max killed. After that, I made a smithy to make an iron pickaxe and an axe. Day 5 was the time to get some new raptors, and so I searched and found 2 level 140 that I trained out and tamed. The next day I also tamed the stego and the mushups I named Mochi, which made me remember about my raptors, and so I named them Patricia and Josephine. I finished that day by exploring, but accidentally changed my OBS scene so I didn't get the gameplay. Day 7 started with the tame of a microraptor that would be my first shoulder pet of the adventure, and I named him Mike. I then avenged Strikey and Max by killing the Bronto that killed them on day 4. Knowing I will need a lot of iron for my journey, I decided to tame and keep, but left him where he was because I knew I couldn't bring him back home safely. At the start of day 8, I went to get our first Deinonychus egg in the White Cliffs, and we got a good first egg, so I went back home to hatch it into a cute little boy I started to feed to later on make him a bloodthirsty warrior. Then some angry Brontos attacked us and killed me, Mike and Burb. When Billy, our Deinonychus, finally became an adult, I immediately got him his saddle and went around to test him on some lysters and others. On day 9 I made myself some cryopods to easily transport my dinos later on. Then, while searching for a replacement for Burb, I found and tamed the level 145 Pteranodon that I named Burb. After that, I went to get more Deinonychus eggs and ended up with a level 140 and 145 that I hatched on day 10 after I tamed a Jerboa that I named Hancock. I finished day 10 by waiting for the Deinonychus to grow up and named them Bianca and Nick at the start of day 11. Obviously I tested them out and they do make a lot of damage. I then made them mate, incubated the egg and waited for him to grow. While waiting, I went to get some metal for future crafts, and after making 2 more eggs incubate, I searched for an Argentavis in the mountains and found a level 145 that I knocked out thanks to Captain fatdog's trap. By exploring some more, I stumbled upon a loot crate with an Ascendant flask helmet that I obviously took. I finished the tame and got back to the base, where I got my first hatched Deinonychus killed, as I thought he could take on a Rex. With my RG, I got my N-kit to farm some metal and get him to the base, and knowing I would need stone later on, I tamed a Deodicarus. I also tamed the Bronto on day 14, as it's a really efficient dino to farm berries. As I was getting myself ready to move to a new location, I made some cryopods.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
So, I used mods for structures or stacks for those who didn't realize, and when connecting back on my world, I forgot to get them back on. So I lost my modded structures and items that were stacked above the usual amount. Well, at least I still have my dinos. I then directly went to my new base location as I didn't have anything else to do at my old one, and to get back most of the resources I lost, I used day 15 to 19 to farm them again. Back in the race, I searched for high-level Rexes as mass producing and killing their babies gives a ton of XP. I also got myself some cementing paste thanks to the beavers. On day 21, I started to make my Rexes mate and hatch their first egg, which was a female, so I kept it because we only need them since one male can already mate with several of them. I also tamed the Terry for wood gathering on day 22. Then I spent day 23 to day 27 farming iron, wood, fiber, crystal and cementing paste. I also searched for high-level Deinonychus eggs and bred my Rexes to get XP for my other dinos. After all this, I made myself a SS crafting station to make modded structures, a SS converter to convert normal structures to modded ones, and a SS blueprint maker to turn an item to its blueprint form. On day 28 and 29 I farmed more iron and crystal and also killed the first alpha carn of this journey. During day 30, I made myself a scuba armor set to go tame a megalodon, so I searched and found a level 150 that I immediately tamed, which I forgot to record. After coming back from the base, as I forgot to make a saddle, the megalodon, that I didn't name at the time, was tamed. I then jumped on him and did some XP and mostly oil farming, which was the reason I needed to get in the water, as oil was the last component I needed to make the industrial grinder. So, you just saw me giving myself the industrial grinder through commands, but it's because I actually lost almost all the resources I had, because when I logged on, I once again forgot to get my structures mod on. So all my structures disappeared, as well as the items that were stocked in them. So I chose to give myself the structures I had, and more importantly an industrial grinder, as the resources needed to make it are insane and I had them before anyways. Back to the video. If I used so much resources to make this industrial grinder, is because we can grind items with rarity, which can give us a lot of resources like those that I got from 2 Ascendant saddles. After this, I went to farm loot crates for good grindable drops until the end of day 32. When I got back to the base, I went straight to the grinder to use it on the items I got and use them to finally make structures for my base that I chose to make on water thanks to the ocean foundation from Structure Plus. I also made a greenhouse for nacreberries and a toilet since I needed fertilizers to farm faster. To make all that, I had to farm crystals, stone and loot crates till day 48, and here's the result. During those days I also got wyvern eggs since they are faster than pteranodon, with the stamina of an Argentavis and decent weight. So I started with an egg level 20 I named Ice Cube, then a level 100 I named White Spikes as a reference to a friend, and a last one level 155 I named Vanilla. From this point, all my time was dedicated to the boss fight. I started by getting a fire wyvern level 150 to make it into a fighter so I could get tributes, which are given by different creatures upon killing them and are needed to launch the boss fight. I then got a Diodon and a Uranus, as they would help us a lot in the fight. And so from day 51 to day 60 I killed Argentavises for their talons, Brontos for their vertebrae, Titanoboas for their venom, and Sarkos for their skin. I also got the artifact of the Skylord, of the Devourer, and of the Pack, which were the last tributes I needed, and so I concentrated on taming Rexes with good melee and health stat, and breeding them to get mutations for the boss fight. Here we are on day 95 for the final boss fight, a battle that will conclude our journey on Valguero. Will I be able to defeat the 3 bosses? We lost companions during this quest for power. Our first raptor, that we never named, Joan Gary, our first tames, Trikey, our first strike, Max, that wasn't even supposed to be tamed, Mike, annoying while in the wild but cute when tamed, Burb, our first really useful flyer, and our first Deinonychus, unnamed, that in the end couldn't take on a Rex. Today we'll avenge them. It's time to find out what will this epic battle will result in. I'm actually slaughtering those bosses. Okay, I guess you are probably asking yourself, is this the end of the vid? 2 seconds of bosses and that's all? It's the end. Well, you shall not worry, my dear viewers, as during the 40 days gap, not only did I breed my Rexes to get the army we have today, but I also got all the tributes for the beta and alpha boss fight. The artifact of the cunning, of the immune, and of the strong for beta, and the artifact of the brute, of the crag, of the destroyer, and of the gatekeeper for alpha. Add to this 25 Albrains, 23 Argent Talons, 18 Sarkiskians, 8 Sauropod Vertebras, 15 Titanoboa Venoms, and 25 Rex's Arms, with 2 Giga Hearts, especially for the Alpha, that I easily obtained after trapping the Gigas with another of Captain fatdog's traps. So, after healing my Rexes, I launched the beta boss fight, which wasn't really hard, so let's directly go to the alpha boss fight. Being stuck right when I arrived in the arena, I opened the pass for my Uranus to get out of the mass of Rexes, and then the fight really started. As this fight consists of fighting each of the 3 bosses one by one, I first aggroed the dragon. After getting the dragon Stegrams, I attacked the Megapithecus, which actually scared me a bit since I saw some of my Rexes with half or a third of their life gone. With both the dragon and the Megapithecus down, I was left with the Manticore, and god do I hate that thing. Since half of the time it was in the air, my Rexes couldn't hit him, and every time it got on the ground we could only damage him for around a tenth of his life. Add to this a bug, or maybe the fact that he couldn't land because of all my Rexes, I don't really know, but sometimes I just couldn't hit him for a long time, and it was so frustrating seeing my Rexes lose their life little by little due to its projectile attacks and not being able to do anything about it. But after 4 minutes of fighting, the Manticore was in its last string of life, and with the last attack, it finally went down. And thus, the 100 days challenge was finally completed. I then packed my things, got my dinos back to the base, and placed the boss banners and trophies. I also placed a bench and a table to stay on while talking about the 100 days and the channel, a part you can find in the description as an unlisted video. Something I will probably do each time I upload a big project. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and maybe comment if you feel like it. And I'll see you guys next time.